Welcome back. We're going to study the data types, the variables in constants in JavaScript. For that, we're going to create a new file, text file basically. So we're going to call it data types, variables, constants dot JS file, because we're going to test these files whichever we create using Node.js, and get the understanding of the basic structures of JavaScript or JavaScript before getting onto the browser. It works exactly the same. We open it here. So the basic concept of variables and data types is why do you create a variable? What is a variable? I give you concepts in the PHP chapter as well, but I'll just repeat it quickly here. It's a memory location, named memory location to hold the data. And C is not strict, the JavaScript is not strict about types. And you can say, okay, name is equal to, for example, you say Ellie. Okay? It is assigned, and you say console dot log name, the variable, F5, and it is printed out. At the same time, if you say, you can change it at the runtime, just like in PHP, you change it, you run it, and you have the new output. So this practically can change. It's not statically typed. It is dynamic, and you can utilize this wherever you want to. So variable names, rules are exactly the same throughout three of the languages, PHP, JavaScript, and C++. You'll have to follow, but in C++ or C and in JavaScript, you do not need a $sign along with them. Now there is a keyword called variable. We're going to explore that. We do have three keywords basically. One is variable, var. The other one is let, and the third one is constant. So the constant, from the name, it doesn't make sense that it is a constant. From var, it makes sense that it is var. The let, new keyword that was introduced in ES6 in 2015, was specific to limiting the scope of the variable. Previously, it was a little bit confusing. So for now, we're going to keep the variables like this without var, let, or constant, whatever. We're not going to use them for now. For now, we're going to understand the data types. So data types are pretty much exactly the same. And you say age is equal to 50, for example. You say, is he disabled or not? False. And then you say, okay, the salary is equal to 5,000. And this is integer. You'll have to use a semicolon after each statement. Even if you do not use it, and there is a new line, the JavaScript is going to allow you to do that, but it's a very bad practice. You should be using a semicolon here, and so that you make sure. And also, you can use we're going to print the salary here, for example. Let's put the salary here, the name here, comma, the salary here. See what happens. You see, the space has automatically been added to two fields. You don't have to add a space here to make it possible. It's already adding a space between these two variables. Console.log does understand what is the next argument, and before that it puts a space. So that was about the variables and data types. Now, advanced data types, you can create objects, just an object. For example, you say, okay, I need to enclose all of this in one object, all of these properties of a single employee. What you do is you create an employee object using curly brackets, okay? Just remember, you're using curly brackets, and in here, you start to give indexes, just like in PHP that we did. We used square brackets, but now in here, you'll have to use curly brackets, and within that you have to first supply the index. And with the index, in PHP you had this arrow sign, but in here you'll have to use the full colon. And name is, for example, I say Ali, and then the age, and make sure the keys do have this double quotes, as well as the data has the double quotes, not the single quotes, because the standard of JSON, this is called JSON. This object is called JSON. And just write it here for you. JavaScript JavaScript JS object notation. Okay, so in here you can apply the age. Then of course a comma is required here. In PHP we had extra comma, which was not creating any problem, but in here in the backend or in the front end or cross browser it made. If this is your last element, then you should not have a comma here. Otherwise, you can have it. And if, for example, I say disabled is false, best is to enclose them. Even if you do not enclose them in here, it is still valid once in the browser, but it might create problem when using cross devices in cross application. So this is the standard, and we say salary also is there, and that's it. So what we do is we're going to just erase rest of the variables that we had. We created one compact object, and we are going to print it out, employee, and we'll see that the node does understand it. If you do it in the browser using document.write, it's not going to write anything except for the word object. Most probably different browsers it would have different behavior. But in here, you can see that the string has been encoded, etc. Rest of the data is created. Now, the thing is, you can embed multiple objects within objects. And for example, you say, okay, this is biodata also needs to be given. And within that, you'll have to first supply comma before creating any object. So object within an object, for example, you say, okay, what is the date of birth? For example, you say, okay, this is December 1, 1945, for example. Okay? And CNIC, national ID card number, for example, is something, sorry, not the special characters, but some integer, etc. If you print it out, if you run it, you'll see that the bio has also been printed out. So this is called nesting and nested objects. This is nested object. Now we have one more type that is, I'll create it on the top in here, and I'll call it, for example, the results. Assume that this is employee which is being tested against some of the skills. How many skills do they have? I will use a square bracket just like in PHP that we did, and I'm going to supply here. Okay, he's good at business communication. It's good at requirement collection. It's good at public relations, etc. And these are the roles. And this can be also tested here with the console.log to check if this array is working just fine. Okay, we do have it. How do we access an element out of it? Exactly the same way that you did in PHP, and we are going to do it in C++. So 0, if you supply, that means the very first element is printed out. Second, third, 0, 1, 2. This is element number 0, first one. The requirement collection is 0, 1. In the third one, which has an index of 2, if we need to print public relations, then we have to access the element number, element index number 2. We can also have it embedded here. We're just going to copy that. And in here, we're going to put a comma. And along with that, we know that we have to encode this within double quotes. And we have to use not equal sign, that is assignment, exactly the same as in PHP, and remove the semicolon. And then when we print out this employee, you will see that the biodata and the results have also been printed out. Now you can have objects within arrays, arrays within objects, whatever you want. You can have it in even this can be embedded in a sub-object which was created previously, and you will see that the bio now contains the results. And we may also do something similar. We can create in here, we would be able to create an object within an array. We're going to give a comma here and bring the whole biodata from here, remove this column, comma that we do not need further, and we are going to bring it here. So we're going to run this, and we'll see. Says the bio. No. Now the thing is, within the array, you can have indexes. When there are indexes, they're counted as objects. The way we started here, this is an object. This is an array. Array cannot have a textual index like in PHP. In PHP, the textual indexed array and normal array are the same, but in JavaScript, textual indices are specific to objects, and in arrays, you cannot have them. You'll have to remove that. And then within the object, you can use that. Now you will see that array element number 0, 1, 2, and 3. Element number 3 is yet another nested objects. So what we are going to do is access the results only. To do that, you can use dot results, and only the results are printed out. Or you can use it just like in PHP, the textual index, and you can utilize it this way. You can utilize results, accessing in double quotes or single quotes. Within that, you want to access the nested elements within the results. You want to access, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is element number 3. So you want to access element number 3, you'll have to pass 3, and you will see that the whole nested object has been printed out. But we need to just print out the CNIC. So what we can do is we can even splice CNIC like this, print it out, or what we can do is just put a dot here and print out the internal element. I hope it does make sense. These were the basic data types that we have. Usually this is called string, just like in any other language. This is an integer. This is a true false. It's a boolean. It's a rational number, just a number. Just call it a number. And if this is without the fractions, then it is an integer. Otherwise, it's a rational number. And the second thing that you need to study in this lecture is creation of objects. And objects are the JSON. They're called JavaScript object notation. So these are the JSON objects. And within them, you can create nesting up to whatever level you want. And you are going to use the console for printing them out whenever for testing purposes when you are programming. When you are within the browser, if you use the console, console is going to print out in the inspection area, which is usually Firebug or Dragonfly or other names that this tool has been given, which shows you the output of the console. I hope it does make sense. If you have any question, you will let me know. Thank you.